100 Pop-Tart, is P3, fending off, Xavier Menu. Arrangement is P2, on mediums. Sir Ivor is P5, ahead of VR Driver. Ahead of VR Driver. Ahead of VR Driver on songs. 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 VR Driver on songs. Sir Ivor is P5, far in front of VR Driver. LRNZ0 is P4. Jack Macaulay 21 is P8. PTG Rider 24 is P7. VR Driver is P6. Sir Ivor is P5. Froggy SVK is P1. Arrangement is P2. PTG Rider 24 is P7. Froggy SVK is P1. Jack Macaulay 21 is P8. Froggy SVK is P1. PTG Rider 24 is P7. Paul Trimberger, entering the pits, is P12. Froggy SVK is P1, on softs. is P5, on softs. Kane Aston, entering the pits, is P13. Escanurainenschmann, is P2. Xavier Menu, is P3. Sir Ivor, is P5, trailing, LRNZ0. Froggy SVK, is P1. PTG Rider 24, is P6. LRNZ0, is P4. Froggy SVK, is P1. Xavier Menu, is P3, on softs. Sir Ivor, is P5, following, LRNZ0. Kane Aston, entering the pits, is P8. Xavier Menu, is P3. Sir Ivor, is P5, following, LRNZ0. The leader has just finished the race. Froggy SVK, is P1. Escanurainenschmann, is P2. Paul Trimberger, is P8. Xavier Menu, is P3. LRNZ0, is P5. Jack Macaulay 21, is P7. Paul Trimberger, is P8. Sir Ivor, is P4. LRNZ0, is P5. PTG Rider 24, is P6. Streamer is P9 on mediums. Jack Macaulay 21 is P5. Jack Macaulay 21 is P5. Eastblow 83 is P8. Eastblow 83 is P8. Jack Macaulay 21 is P5 on softs. Danny Lius Stalionis is P11. Danny Lius Stalionis is P11. Dominikas Isonis is P12. George APS is P13, PTG Rider 24 is P4, PTG Rider 24 is P4. Dominikas Isonis is P12 on softs. Jack Macaulay 21, is P5, on softs. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. George APS, is P13. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P4. Danny Leus Stalionis, is P11. Jack Macaulay 21, is P5. Danny Leus Stalionis, is P11. Danny Leus Stalionis, entering the pits, is P11, George APS, is P13. Jack Macaulay 21, is P5. Danny Leus Stalionis, is P11. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. Danny Leus Stalionis, is P11, on softs. Nafili, is P1. Nafili, is P1, George APS, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P13. Danny Leus Stalionis, is P11. Jack Macaulay 21, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P5. Dominicus Icinus, is P12, on softs. George APS, is P13, Danilius Stalionis, is P11. Nafili, is P1. Danilius Stalionis, is P11. Nafili, entering the pits, is P1. Dominicus Icinus, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P12, George APS, entering the pits, is P13, Danilius Stalionis, entering the pits, is P11. The qualifying session is now underway. Streamer, is P9. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. Danilius Stalionis, is P11. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. George APS, is P13. Nafili, is P1. Danilius Stalionis, is P11. Nafili, is P1. George APS, is P13. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. Dominicus Icinus, improved, is P12. With a 134.439. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Paul Trimberger, is P6. Paul Trimberger, is provisional pole. With a 126.583. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Danny Lius Stalionis, is P11. Nafili, is P1. Nafili, improved, is P1. With a 130.760. Danny Lius Stalionis, is P11. George APS, is P13. George APS, is provisional pole. With a 122.741. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Danny Lius Stalionis, is P11. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. George APS, is P13. Jack Macaulay 21, is P5. Loaya, is P2. Paul Trimberger, is P6. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Paul Trimberger, is P6. George APS, is P13. Paul Trimberger, is P6. Jack Macaulay 21, is provisional pole. With a 120.866. Dominicus Icinus, is P12. PTG Rider 24 is P4. George APS is P13. Jack Macaulay 21 is P5. Danny Liu Stalionis is P11. Mickey is P1. George APS is P13. Dominicus Isinus is P12. Sandro Visco is P21. George APS is P13. Loaya is P2. George APS is P13. Mickey is P1. Loaya is provisional pole with a 120.687. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Danny Liu Stalionis is P11. Race start. Leonardo Pagano is P13. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14, Solanel, entering the pits, is P9, Streamer, is P14, Sandro Visco, is P8. Jack Macaulay 21, is P2. Daniliu Staliunas is P2. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15. Leonardo Pagano is P13. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14, Solanel, entering the pits, is P9, Streamer, is P14, Sandro Visco, is P8. Dominicus Isinus, is P5. PTG Rider 24, is P12. Leonardo Pagano is P7, Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15. Streamer, entering the pits, is P13, Solanel, entering the pits, is P8, Streamer, is P13, Luca Vecchio, is P7, Dominicus Isinus, is P6. Daniliu Staliunas, is P1. PTG Rider 24, is P10. Daniliu Staliunas, is P2. William Almqvist, is P3. Jack Macaulay 21, is P7. PTG Rider 24, is P10. Jack Macaulay 21, entering the pits, is P11. William Almqvist, is P3, Luca Vecchio, entering the pits, is P10. Paul Trimberger, is P6, far in front of Mickey. Daniliu Staliunas, is P4, fending off Dominicus Isinus. William Almqvist, is P3, following George APS, Paul Trimberger, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P9. Mickey is P6 on mediums, fending off Leonardo Pagano. William Almqvist is P3 on softs, chasing George APS. Dominicus Isinus entering the pits after 2 laps is P4. Danny Leus entering the pits after 2 laps is P5. Paul Trimberger is P8. William Almqvist is P3, following George APS. Paul Trimberger is P8 on softs. Leonardo Pagano entering the pits after 3 laps is P4. William Almqvist is P3 on softs, following George APS. George APS is P2 ahead of William Almqvist. William Almqvist is P3, following George APS. PTG Rider 24 is P6. Danny Leus is P4. William Almqvist is P3, following George APS. Dominicus Isinus is P9. William Almqvist is P3 on softs, trailing George APS. Leonardo Pagano entering the pits is P7. Mitch 56 is P10 on softs. Paul Trimberger is P6. PTG Rider 24 is P5 on mediums. Dominicus Isinus is P8 on mediums. George APS is P2 ahead of William Almqvist. Leonardo Pagano is P10, chasing Mitch 56. PTG Rider 24 is P5. Leonardo Pagano is P8, fending off Mitch 56. Danny Liu Stalionis is P4. William Almqvist is P3, trailing George APS. Loaya is P1. PTG Rider 24 is P5. George APS is P2, far in front of William Almqvist. Leonardo Pagano is P7, far in front of Mitch 56. William Almqvist is P3, trailing George APS. Danny Liu Stalionis is P4. Mitch 56 is P8. William Almqvist is P3, trailing George APS. Loaya is P1. George APS is P2, far in front of William Almqvist. Leonardo Pagano is P6. Mitch 56 is P7 on softs. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Loaya is P1. Jark, entering the pits, is P13. Leonardo Pagano, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P6. George APS, is P2. William Almqvist is P3 on softs. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Jark is P8. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Loaya is P1, Jark, entering the pits, is P8. Luca Vecchio is P5 on softs. George APS is P2. William Almqvist is P3. PTG Rider 24 is P4. The leader has just finished the race. Loaya is P1. William Almqvist is P3. Luca Vecchio is P5. PTG Rider 24 is P4, George APS is P2. William Almqvist is P3. PTG Rider 24 is P4. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Jark is P8. Streamer is P10 on mediums. Jark is P9. Jark is P9. Loaya is P1. Mitch 56 is P6. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Loaya is P1. Luca Vecchio is P5. Anarchy entering the pits is P12. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Kiko Dose 123 entering the pits is P14. Jark is P9 on softs. Kiko Dose 123 is P14. Kiko Dose 123 is P14 on softs. Jark is P9. Luca Vecchio, is P5, on softs. Kiko Does 123, entering the pits, is P14. PTG Rider 24, is P4, Kiko Does 123, is P14. William Almqvist, is P2, William Almqvist, is P2. Anarchy, is P12. Anarchy, is P12, on softs. Jark, entering the pits, is P9, Kiko Does 123, is P14. Luca Vecchio, is P5. Leonardo Pagano, is P7. William Almqvist, entering the pits, is P2. Mitch 56, is P6. Kiko Does 123, entering the pits, is P14. Anarchy, is P12, Jark, is P9. Kiko Does 123, is P14. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Jark, is P9. Leonardo Pagano, is P7, on softs. Mitch 56, is P6. Kiko Does 123, is P14. Anarchy, entering the pits, is P12, PTG Rider 24, is P4. Anarchy, is P12, Kiko Does 123, is P14. Anarchy, is P12. Kiko Does 123, is P14. Leonardo Pagano, is P7. Jark, is P9, on softs. Envix, entering the pits, is P13. Mitch 56, entering the pits, after 5 laps, is P6. Leonardo Pagano, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P7. Leonardo Pagano, is P7. Envix is P13. Anarchy is P12 on softs. Jark is P9. Anarchy entering the pits is P12. Loaya entering the pits after 6 laps is P1. Anarchy is P12. Loaya is P1. PTG Rider 24 entering the pits after 4 laps is P4. Kikodos 123 entering the pits after 3 laps is P14. Luca Vecchio is P5. Rhododendron is P16. Jark is P9. Anarchy is P12. Envix entering the pits is P13. Rhododendron is P16. Kikodos 123 is P14. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Leonardo Pagano entering the pits after 2 laps is P7. Envix is P13. Kikodos 123 is P14 on softs. Luca Vecchio entering the pits after 4 laps is P5. Rhododendron entering the pits is P16. Anarchy is P12. Kikodos 123 entering the pits is P14. Jark entering the pits after 5 laps is P9. Luca Vecchio is P5. Luca Vecchio is P5, Kikodos 123 is P14. Snakiest Carrot is P3, Anarchy is P12, Loaya entering the pits after 2 laps is P1. Jark is P9. Anarchy entering the pits is P12. Kikodos 123 entering the pits is P14. PTG Rider 24 entering the pits is P4. Envix entering the pits is P13. Luca Vecchio entering the pits is P5. Jark is P9. The qualifying session is now underway. Streamer is P10. Envix is P13. Jark is P9. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Kikodos 123 is P14. Anarchy is P12. Loaya is P1. Kikodos 123 is P14. Anarchy is P12. Snakiest Carib is P3. Envix is P13. Jark is P9. Mitch 56 is P6. Leonardo Pagano is P7. Kikodos 123 is P14. Jark is P9. Snakiest Carib is P3. Loaya is P1. Snakiest Carib is P3. Kikodos 123 is P14. Anarchy is P12. Leonardo Pagano is P7. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Envix is P13. Fururica is P18. Loaya is provisional pole, with a 119.620, Anarchy is P12. Mitch 56 is P6. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Aya is P1. PTG Rider 24 is P4. Kiko Dose 123 is P14. Ururica is P18. Lance is P20. Jark is P9. Leonardo Pagano is P7. Leonardo Pagano, improved, is P7. With a 120.73 knot. Jark is P9. Loaya is P1. Snakiest Carrot is P3. Envix is P13. Anarchy is P12. Leonardo Pagano is P7. Snakiest Carrot is P3. Loaya is provisional pole with a 119.376. Envix is P13. Snakiest Carrot is P3. Anarchy is P12. Snakiest Carrot is P3. Kiko Dose 123 is P14. Anarchy is P12. Kiko Dose 123 is P14. Snakiest Carrot is P3. Jark, is P9. Snakiest Carib, is P3. Kikodos 123, is P14. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Kikodos 123, is P14. PTG Rider 24, is P4. Kikodos 123, is P14. Race start. Fuzzy, entering the pits, is P7, Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P17. Daniel Muaz Azarin, is P17. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14, Solanel, entering the pits, is P9, Streamer, is P15, Leon, is P20. Envix, is P14. Kikodos 123, is P5. Jark, is P4. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15, Daniel Muaz Azarin, is P17. Lo Ayin. is P1, on softs. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14. Solanel, entering the pits, is P9. Streamer, is P15. Leon, is P19. Luca Vecchio, is P3. Envix, is P17. Fuzzy, entering the pits, is P14. Picodos 123, is P5. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15. Daniel Muaz Azarin, is P17. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14. Solanel, entering the pits, is P9. Streamer, is P15. Leon, is P19. Anarchy, is P8. Envix, is P18. Fuzzy, entering the pits, is P16. Daniel Muaz Azarin, is P13. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P15. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14. Solanel, entering the pits, is P9. Streamer, is P15. Leon, is P19. Anarchy, is P8. Leon, is P17, on softs. Daniel Muaz Azarin, is P18. Mitch 56, is P13. David Zahn, entering the pits, is P22. PTG Rider 24, is P8. Loaya, is P2. Daniel Muaz Azarin, entering the pits, is P16. PTG Rider 24, is P12. Leonardo Pagano, is P4. Jark, is P8. Fuzzy, entering the pits, is P10. Envix, entering the pits, is P21. Leonardo Pagano, is P4, ahead of Alexander. Snakiest Carrot is P7, chasing Rhododendron. Kikodos 123 is P14, fending off Leon. PTG Rider 24 is P12, battling Eureka and Vix. Entering the pits is P17. Kowalski, entering the pits, is P21, Jark, is P6, fending off Rhododendron. Kikodos 123, is P11, fending off PTG Rider 24. Leonardo Pagano is P4 on softs, chasing Lance. David Zahn is P15. Snakiest Carrot is P8, fending off Mitch 56. Matthias Packer, entering the pits after 3 laps, is P10. Leon, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P13. Leonardo Pagano is P4, battling Lance. Snakiest Carrot is P6, fending off Mitch 56. Alex Torregrosa, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P21. Daniel Fernandez, entering the pits after 3 laps, is P19. Leon, entering the pits, is P9. Envix is P14. Ruben Miguel Garcia, entering the pits, is P21. Snakiest Carrot is P6, fending off Mitch 56. Matthias Packer is P9 on softs, ahead of David Zahn. JKN87, entering the pits, is P21. Snakiest Carrot is P7, following Mitch 56. Alex Torregrosa is P16. David Zahn is P10, chasing Matthias Packer. Kowalski is P12. Jark is P5 on softs, far in front of Mitch 56. Matthias Packer, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P10. Daniel Fernandez is P17. Jark is P5, far in front of Mitch 56. Envix, entering the pits after 3 laps, is P13. Alex Torregrosa is P15, fending off Ruben Miguel Garcia. Mitch 56 is P6 on softs, far in front of Snakiest Carib. Alex Torregrosa is P15, fending off Ruben Miguel Garcia. Envix is P13. David Zahn is P9 on softs. Mitch 56 is P6, far in front of Snakiest Carib. Envix, entering the pits, is P13. Alex Torregrosa is P14. Kowalski is P10 on mediums. Mitch 56 is P6 on softs, trailing Jark. PTG Rider 24 is P8. Leon, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P21. Mitch 56 is P6, ahead of Snakiest Carib. Snakiest Carib is P7, following Mitch 56. Tom, entering the pits, is P22. Alex Torregrosa is P12, chasing Fuzzy. JKN 87 is P16 on softs, fending off Naz. Fuzzy, entering the pits after 3 laps, is P13. Jark is P5. Alex Torregrosa is P11 on softs. Envix, entering the pits, is P17. Jark is P5. JKN 87 is P15, trailing Naz. Daniel Fernandez, entering the pits after 4 laps, is P13. Snakiest Carib is P6. PTG Rider 24, entering the pits after 8 laps, is P8. David Zahn is P7 on softs. Jark is P5. Alex Torregrosa, is P10, on softs. Matthias Packer, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P11. Loaya, is P1. Kowalski, entering the pits, after 7 laps, is P9, Alex Torregrosa, is P10. Daniel Fernandez, is P14. Loaya, is P1. The leader has just finished the race. Loaya, is P1, Snakius Karib, is P6, Daniel Fernandez, is P13. JKN87, is P12. Luca Vecchio, is P2, Jark, is P5, Leonardo Pagano, is P3. Daniel Fernandez, is P12. Lance, is P4. David Zahn, is P7, Jark, is P5. Alex Torregrosa, is P9, Jark, is P5, Elspooks, is P14. Envix, is P13. Snakius Karib, is P7. Toxic What Legion, is P15. Envix, is P12. Streamer, is P17, on mediums. Alex Torregrosa, is P8, Alex Torregrosa, is P8, Envix, is P12, White 1012, is P16, Daniel Fernandez, is P13, Naz, is P10, Snakius Karib, is P7, Eastblow 83, is P22, Daniel Fernandez, is P13, Leonardo Pagano, is P3, Matthias Packer, is P11, Lance, is P5, Snakius Karib, is P7. Toxic What Legion, is P21. Kowalski, is P19, Lance, is P5, Sandro Visco, is P6. Snakius Karib, is P7. White 1012, is P16, Kowalski, entering the pits, is P19, Daniel Fernandez, entering the pits, is P13. Sandro Visco, is P6, Daniel Fernandez, is P13. Kowalski, is P19. Toxic What Legion, is P21. Lance, entering the pits, is P5, Dervetter, is P4, JKN87, is P2, Naz, is P10. Alex Torregrosa is P8, Lance is P5. Naz is P10. Skyrai Laws entering the pits is P7, Tom is P20, Leonardo Pagano entering the pits is P3, Envix is P12. Sandro Visco is P6. Dervetter entering the pits is P4. Naz is P10. Toxic What Legion entering the pits is P21. Dervetter is P4, Envix is P12. Esplo 83 entering the pits after 2 laps is P22. Naz is P10. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Esplo 83 is P22. Toxic What Legion is P21. White 1012 is P16. JKN 87 is P2. Matthias Packer entering the pits is P11. Skyrai Laws is P7. Envix is P12. Sandro Visco is P6. Esplo 83 entering the pits is P22. Big Tingoose is P1. White 1012 is P16. Dervetter entering the pits is P4. Toxic What Legion is P21. Dervetter is P4, White 1012 is P16. Esplo 83 is P22. Esplo 83 is P22. Matthias Packer is P11. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Sandro Visco entering the pits after 3 laps is P6. Skyrai Laws entering the pits is P7. Naz is P10. Chad Berry Applebottom Caboose entering the pits is P16. Sandro Visco is P6. Dervetter is P4. Naz is P10. Chad Berry Applebottom Caboose is P16. Daniel Fernandez is P13. JKN 87 is P2. JKN 87 entering the pits after 3 laps is P2. Esplo 83 is P22. Kowalski entering the pits after 3 laps is P19. Tom is P20. JKN 87 is P2. Chad Berry Applebottom Caboose is P16. Skyrai Laws is P7. David Zahn entering the pits is P21. Esplo 83 is P22. Kowalski is P19. Tom entering the pits is P20. Dervetter is P4. Blake is P3. Tom is P20. Sandro Visco is P6. Is P3. Skyry Laws, is P7. Is P3. Alex Torregrosa, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P8. Daniel Fernandez, is P13. Esplo 83, is P22. Is P3. Skyry Laws, is P7. Naz, entering the pits, after 6 laps, is P10. Brian 13051, entering the pits, is P12, Sandro Visco, is P6. Big Tingoose, is P1. Kowalski, is P19, Naz, is P10. Skyry Laws, entering the pits, is P7, Brian 13051, is P12, Big Tingoose, is P1. Alex Torregrosa, is P8, Blake, is P3. Daniel Fernandez, is P13. Daniel Fernandez, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P13, Esplo 83, is P22. GameTac, entering the pits, is P16, Alex Torregrosa, is P8, Matthias Packer, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P11. Big Tingoose, is P1, on softs. Tom, is P20. Big Tingoose, is P1. Kowalski, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P19. Sandro Visco, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P6. Skyry Laws, is P7. Daleb, entering the pits, is P5. Is P3, on mediums. Big Tingoose, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P1. JKN87, is P2, Alex Torregrosa, entering the pits, is P8, Dervetter, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P4, GameTac, is P16. Big Tingoose, is P1. Flay, is P3. Brian 13051, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P12, Clay, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P3, GameTac, entering the pits, is P16, Tom, entering the pits, is P20. The qualifying session is now underway. Streamer, is P17. Sandro Visco, is P6. Skyry Laws, is P7. Daniel Ferndes, is P13. Skyry Laws, is P7. Daniel Ferndes, is P13. Skyry Laws, is P7. Big Tingoose, is P1. Brian 13051, is P12. Naz, is P10. Brian 13051, is P12. Skyry Laws, is P7. Big Tingoose, is P1. Daniel Ferndes, is P13. Big Tingoose, is P1. Daniel Ferndes, is P13. Alex Torregroza, is provisional pole. With a 121.524. Daniel Ferndes, improved, is P13. With a 123.697, play, is P3. Big Tingoose, is P1. Skyry Laws, is P7. Brian 13051, is P12. JKN87, is P2. Dervetter, is provisional pole. With a 121.315. Alex Torregroza, is P8. Big Tingoose, is P1. GameTac, is P16, Sandro Visco, is provisional pole. With a 121.186, Alex Torregroza, is provisional pole. With a 121.012, GameTac, improved, is P16. With a 122.720, Big Tingoose, is P1, Dr. GAMUS, is P22. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Sandro Visco is P6. Skyrai Laws is P7. Dervetter is provisional pole with a 120.883. Sandro Visco is P6. Big Tingoose is P1. Sandro Visco is P6. Skyrai Laws is P7. Sandro Visco is P6. Skyrai Laws is P7. Dervetter is provisional pole with a 120.738. JKN 87 is P2. Sandro Visco is P6. Alex Torregrosa is P8. Alex Torregrosa is provisional pole with a 120.535. Naz is P10. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Alex Torregrosa is P8. Tom is provisional pole with a 118.795. JKN 87 is P2. Is P3. JKN 87 is P2. Sandro Visco is P6. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Sandro Visco is P6. Daniel Fernandez is P13. Dr. Gamus is P22. GameTac is P16. Sandro Visco is P6. Dr. Gamus is P22. Dervetter is P4. Race start. Acidic Streaming, entering the pits, is P14, Streamer, is P10. Kowalski, is P20. Streamer, entering the pits, is P17, PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P14, Jack McCauley 21, entering the pits, is P16, Streamer, is P16, Dr. Gamus is P19, Daniel Fernandez, is P6. Sandro Visco, is P3. Big Tingoose is P16. Kowalski is P18. Streamer, entering the pits, is P17, PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P14, Streamer, is P17, Dr. Gamus is P20, Big Tingoose, is P8. GameTac, is P8. Kowalski is P21 on softs. Streamer, entering the pits, is P16, PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P14, Streamer, is P16, Dr. GAMUAS, is P18, Sandro Visco, is P4. Big Tingoose, is P11. Andrea Bianchi, is P14. JKN87, is P6. Kowalski, is P17. Streamer, entering the pits, is P15, PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P12, Streamer, is P15, Dr. GAMUAS, is P18, Skyry Laws, entering the pits, is P17, Daniel Ferndes, is P3. Blink, is P7. Kowalski, is P12. Streamer, entering the pits, is P14, PTG Rider 24, entering the pits, is P13, Streamer, is P14, Dr. GAMUAS, is P16, Sir Ivor, is P7. Klikert, entering the pits, is P21, Skyry Laws, is P12. Kowalski, is P13. JKN87, is P9, on softs. Dr. Gamus is P9. Skyry entering the pits is P18. Daniel Ferndes entering the pits is P19. Kowalski is P7. Mats Meinsma entering the pits is P17. Sandro Visco is P5. Kleichert is P12. Alex Torregrosa is P3, chasing Der Vetter. Skyry is P13. Andrea Bianchi entering the pits is P11. Jack McCauley 21 is P1. Skyry is P13. Henny 1801 is P10. Kleichert is P11, far in front of Andrea Bianchi. Chef Boyardee entering the pits is P20. Christopher Gruber entering the pits is P18. Skyry is P13. Jack McCauley 21 entering the pits after 2 laps is P1. GameTac is P5, battling Sir Ivor. Kowalski is P6 on softs, fending off Sir Ivor. Christopher Gruber is P12 on softs. Antonio entering the pits is P20. Dislagmentation entering the pits is P20. Henny 1801 is P8, far in front of Kleichert. GameTac is P4, fending off Kowalski. Andrea Bianchi is P10. GameTac is P4, battling Kowalski. Kleichert entering the pits after 3 laps is P9. Andrea Bianchi is P8 on softs. Antonio is P10, far in front of Chef Boyardee. Sandro Visco is P2, far in front of Kowalski. Antonio, is P10, far in front of Chef Boyardee. Game tag, entering the pits, after 5 laps, is P6. Kowalski, is P3, ahead of Jack Macaulay 21. Dislagmentation, is P10. Christopher Gruber, is P7. Andrea Bianchi, is P6, ahead of Penny 1801. Sandro Visco, is P2, far in front of Kowalski. Dislagmentation, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P10, Dervetter, is P1. Sandro Visco, is P2, far in front of Kowalski. Kowalski, is P3, ahead of Jack Macaulay 21. Christopher Gruber, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P7. Dervetter, is P1. Dislagmentation, is P11. Dalim, entering the pits, after 5 laps, is P15. Antonio, is P6, on mediums. Jack Macaulay 21, is P4, on softs, following Kowalski. Kowalski, is P3, ahead of Jack Macaulay 21. Chef Boyardee, is P7. Dennis De Jong, is P8. Darius Tamasunas, is P10. Dislagmentation, is P9. Kowalski is P4, battery, Jack McCauley 21. Andrea Bianchi is P5 on softs. Kowalski is P4 chasing Jack McCauley 21. Darius Tomasunas is P10. Dislagmentation is P9. Dennis De Jong is P8. Dislagmentation is P9. Darius Tomasunas is P10. Sandro Visco is P2, ahead of Jack McCauley 21. Kowalski is P4, following Jack McCauley 21. Sandro Visco is P2, fending off Jack McCauley 21. The leader has just finished the race. Der Vetter is P1, Andrea Bianchi is P5. Sandro Visco is P2, Jack McCauley 21 is P3, Darius Tomasunas is P9, Kowalski is P4. Antonio is P5. La Fin du Monde is P11. Darius Tomasunas is P9. Darius Tomasunas is P9. Dislagmentation is P7. Dennis De Jong is P5. Dennis De Jong is P4. Christopher Gruber is P9. Streamer is P13 on mediums. Chef Boyardee is P6, Chef Boyardee is P6, Lofin Dumont is P9, Kowalski is P2, Mats Mindsma is P12, Bottas is P10, Lofin Dumont is P9, Christopher Gruber is P8. Dennis de Jong is P4, Lofin Dumont entering the pits is P9, Kowalski is P2, Antonio is P3. Chef Boyardee is P6, Dislagmentation is P5, Lofin Dumont is P9. Dislagmentation is P5. Bottas is P10 on mediums. Chef Boyardee is P6, Bottas entering the pits is P10. Bottas is P10, Dislagmentation is P5. Dislagmentation entering the pits is P5, Kowalski is P2, Chef Boyardee entering the pits is P6, Dennis de Jong entering the pits is P4, Bottas is P10. Dislagmentation is P5, Dennis de Jong is P4, Kowalski is P2. Darius Timasunas is P7, Dislagmentation is P5, Christopher Gruber entering the pits after 2 laps is P8, Chef Boyardee is P6, Lofin Dumont is P9, Christopher Gruber is P8. Dislagmentation entering the pits is P5. Dislagmentation is P5. Dislagmentation is P5. Lofin Dumont is P9. Bottas is P10. Jackson Gray is P1. Darius Timasunas entering the pits is P7. Antonio is P3 on softs. Bottas is P10. Darius Timasunas is P7. Mats Mindsma entering the pits after 3 laps is P12, Dislagmentation is P5. Kowalski is P2. Mats Mindsma is P12. Christopher Gruber is P8, Dennis de Jong entering the pits is P4. Bottas entering the pits is P10, Darius Timasunas is P7. Antonio is P3. Chef Boyardee is P6. La Fin du Monde, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P9, Antonio, is P3, Dennis de Jong, is P4. Jackson Gray, is P1. Bottas, is P10. Kowalski, entering the pits, after 5 laps, is P2. La Fin du Monde, is P9. Antonio, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P3. Mats Mindsma, is P12. Kowalski, is P2. Antonio, is P3, Christopher Gruber, is P8. Antonio, is P3. Oidleys El Hog, entering the pits, is P5, Christopher Gruber, is P8. Antonio, is P3. Oidleys El Hog, is P5. Oidleys El Hog, is P5. La Fin du Monde, is P9. Mats Mindsma, is P12. Mats Mindsma, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P12. Kowalski, is P2. Darius Tamasunas, entering the pits, after 3 laps, is P7. Bottas, entering the pits, is P10. Oidleys El Hog, is P5. Bottas, is P10. Jackson Gray, is P1. Etienne Caron, is P14. Mats Mindsma, is P12. Bottas, is P10. Darius Tamasunas, is P7. Mats Mindsma, entering the pits, is P12. Jackson Gray, is P1. Antonio, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P3. Bottas, entering the pits, is P10. Chef Boyardee, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P6. Bottas, is P10. Mats Mindsma, is P12. Christopher Gruber, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P8. William Almqvist, entering the pits, is P20. Kowalski, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P2. La Fin du Monde, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P9. Oidleys El Hog, is P5. DOM020, is P22. Bottas, is P10. Dennis de Jong, is P4. DOM020 is P22. Dennis de Jong is P4. Darius Tamasunas is P7. Jackson Gray, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P1. Blackhawk 2171, entering the pits, is P10. Darius Tamasunas, entering the pits, is P7. DOM020 is P22. Loic 2810, entering the pits, is P18. Etienne Caron, entering the pits after 2 laps, is P14. Mats Mindsma is P12. Christopher Gruber is P8. Dennis de Jong is P4. Mats Mindsma, entering the pits, is P12. Blackhawk 2171 is P10. Francesco Evoli is P15. Blackhawk 2171 is P10. Jackson Gray is P1. Dennis de Jong, entering the pits after 4 laps, is P4. Antonio is P3. Loic 2810 is P18. Antonio, entering the pits, is P3. Oidles El Hog, entering the pits, is P5. Christopher Gruber, entering the pits, is P8. Loic 2810, entering the pits, is P18. Francesco Evoli is P15. The qualifying session is now underway. Streamer is P13. Antonio is P3. Etienne Caron is P14. Chef Boyardee is P6. Antonio is P3. Francesco Evoli is P15. Chef Boyardee is P6. Dennis de Jong is P4. Antonio is P3. Blackhawk 2171 is P10. Antonio is P3. Mats Mindsma is P12. Darius Tamasunas is P7. Loic 2810 is P18. Mats Mindsma is P12. Antonio is P3. Antonio, improved, is P3. With a 123.662. Mats Mindsma is P12. Chef Boyardee is provisional pole. with a 121.755. Black Hawk 2171 is provisional pole, with a 121.461. Chef Boyardee is P6. Antonio is P3. Black Hawk 2171 is P10. DOM 020 is P22. Black Hawk 2171 is P10. Boydley's L Hog is P5. Mats Mindsma is P12. Loic 2810 is P18. Black Hawk 2171 is P10. Hercules is P14. Christopher Gruber is P8. Pahir is P9. Dennis De Jong is P4. Chef Boyardee is provisional pole, with a 116.586. William Almquist is P20. William Almquist, improved, is P20, with a 123.418. Mats Mindsma is P12. Dennis De Jong is P4. Mats Mindsma is P12. Leonardo Hosany is P1. DOM 020 is P22. William Almquist is P20. Mats Mindsma is P12. Dennis de Jong is P4. Mats Mindsma is P12. Leonardo Hosany is P1. Daniel Horvath is P10. Mats Mindsma is P12. Antonio is P3. William Almqvist is P20. Christopher Gruber is P8. Antonio is P3. Leonardo Hosany is P1. Antonio is P3. Loic 2810 is P18. Christopher Gruber is P8. Loic 2810 is P18. Dennis de Jong is P4. Oidlis El Hog is P5. Loic 2810 is P18. Francesco Eboli is P15. Leonardo Hosany is P1. Race start. DOM020 is P16. Streamer, entering the pits, is P16, Oidlis El Hog, entering the pits, is P13, Hercules, entering the pits, is P17, Streamer, is P16, Loic 2810, is P12, Dennis de Jong, is P2. Pahir, is P8. Christopher Gruber, is P3. Dennis De Jong, is P1, on softs. Kowalski, entering the pits, is P1. Daniel Horvath, is P7. Dennis De Jong, is P1, fending off Christopher Gruber. Pahir, is P9, chasing Darius Tomasunas. Christopher Gruber, is P2, fending off Francesco Eboli. Daniel Horvath, is P7, chasing Leonardo Hazani. DOM020, is P11, chasing Loic 2810. DOM020, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P14, Loic 2810, is P11, ahead of Mats Mindsmith. Daniel Horvath, is P9, chasing Pahir. Antonia, is P4, ahead of William Almqvist. Daniel Horvath, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P11. Leonardo Hazani, is P6, following William Almqvist. Dennis De Jong, is P1, ahead of Christopher Gruber. Chef Boyardee, entering the pits, after 2 laps, is P11, Mats Mindsmith, is P9, fending off Pahir. Antonia, is P4, battling William Almqvist. Dennis De Jong, is P1, ahead of Christopher Gruber. Mats Mindsmith, is P10, chasing Pahir. Darius Tomasunas, is P7, on softs, battling Kowalski. Mats Mindsmith, is P10, fending off Hercules. Francesco Eboli, is P3, far in front of William Almqvist. Francesco Eboli, entering the pits, after 4 laps, is P6, Loic 2810, is P12. Mats Mindsmith, is P7, battling Hercules. Chef Boyardee, entering the pits, is P12. William Almqvist, is P3, ahead of Leonardo Hazani. Hercules, is P9, trailing, Mats Mindsma. Antonio, is P4, chasing, Leonardo Hosini. Shep Boyardee, entering the pits, is P10. Kowalski, is P6, chasing, William Almqvist. Antonio, is P3, on mediums, fending off, Leonardo Hosini. DOM020, is P9, on mediums. Leonardo Hosini, is P6, following, Kowalski. Kowalski, entering the pits, after 5 laps, is P4. Dennis de Jong, is P1, ahead of, Christopher Gruber. Antonio, is P1, on mediums, battling, Dennis de Jong. DOM020, is P8. Hercules, is P4, trailing, Leonardo Hosini. Pahir, is P5. Christopher Gruber, is P2, following, Dennis de Jong. Dennis de Jong, is P1, fending off, Christopher Gruber. Antonio, entering the pits, is P15. Hercules, entering the pits, is P21. Ethereum.net. GT.Maxime, is P2, on mediums, Dennis de Jong, is P1, Pahir, entering the pits, is P21. The leader has just finished the race. Dennis de Jong is P1. Streamer is P5 on mediums. Hercules is P4. Hercules is P4. Adam Kovac is P2.